Alright guys, so today's video is on the brand new 1More ComfoBuds 2. Now this is a very interesting pair, not only because it has a different look, now it does have the stem style design, but it has a pointier end to it. Same thing with where the ear tips sit. It's a flatter style ear tip, which allows these earbuds to go a little bit further into your ear canal. And this is one of those pairs that you can actually lay on a pillow or lay flat and it doesn't jam it into your ear. So that's a huge plus because that's actually how I like to use my earbuds most of the time. Just laying in bed, and I don't feel like I have to lay on my back while I'm using these. But with the ComfoBuds 2, they definitely upgraded a few things here and there, and they kept the price pretty low because these come in at $59. But we're going to talk about all the features that these have. We're going to talk about the sound and what all comes inside the box and see if it's worth the $59 price tag. Now to start with, I said that these come with the flatter style ear tips. It only comes in two sizes. It gives you a small and a large, but because it's just this more flatter feel, it doesn't take much to get a good fit. But I did find that putting the ear tips in, I had to kind of push the stems a little further back. So it's almost straight up and down instead of the stems going more towards my mouth. So just keep in mind you may have to wiggle these around a little bit to get the right seal, but once you do, it makes a huge difference when it comes to the sound. Now, as far as the technology in these, they do have Bluetooth 5.2, and as far as Bluetooth codecs, there's only AAC. Now, this could just simply be because 1More didn't want to pay to get the certification for aptX playback, because as far as compression with audio, I didn't experience any with this pair, so I did want to go ahead and point that out. But AAC is basically like a pair of AirPods. You're getting the best Bluetooth codec that you can get with Apple devices, but they didn't take advantage of the aptX playback, so that is something to know if you're on an Android device. Now, as far as any kind of latency, this pair actually has a gaming mode. So you just switch it into gaming mode, and it cuts down any kind of lag when it comes to movies, videos, and even gaming. I didn't have any lag with either. So this is easily one of those pairs that you can use with all types of media. Now, before actually going in and using this pair, the first thing you're really going to want to do is download their app. And the main reason for that is it will definitely keep these earbuds updated. But there are different pre-built EQ options in here, but you can also go in and switch around the controls if you need to. And they also have some built-in soothing sounds. So if you want your earbuds in and you just kind of want to relax or meditate, you just switch it into soothing mode. And they have some different things built in, like rain and the beach and stuff like that, to just kind of help you relax. Now, one of the things that I think really makes this pair stand out is it is a very small pair. And what I mean by that is there's not a lot of room in the earbud itself. And because of the way the stem is designed, there's not really a lot of room there either. So the fact that they were able to cram a 13.4 millimeter driver in both of these is very impressive. But most open ear designs, they have to do this because they're trying to kind of overcompensate for the fact that your audio is going to leak. But because these have ear tips and because you're able to get a good seal, the sound is not leaking. So now you get this really powerful driver and you're getting the ability to seal your ear canal. So it's kind of like having the best of both worlds, because most earbuds are going to be 6 to 7 millimeters. Some get around 10 millimeters. So the 13.4 is definitely impressive in a pair that has the ear tips. Now, if you are looking for a pair to use outdoors or to use at the gym, this pair does come in rated at IPX5. So you don't have to worry if it starts to rain. You don't have to worry if they get splashed or if you start to sweat heavily. But you definitely do not want to submerge this pair into water. And then as far as what they've included in the box, other than the two sets of ear tips, they do include a USB-C cable, and you're going to have to use the USB-C cable because this case is not a Qi wireless charging case. But speaking of the charging, battery life is actually pretty decent, especially considering that they're as small as they are, but also the fact that they're using such a large driver. Because on the earbuds themselves, you're going to get around 6 hours, where with the charging case, you're going to get around 24 hours total. Now, if you do pick the earbuds up and they are dead, it does have a fast charge feature where a quick 15-minute charge will get you 3 hours of use. Now, moving over to looking at the actual earbuds and the case itself, the first thing that I want to point out is it's almost like when you have a brand new car with a brand new wax job on it. This thing is slippery and shiny as hell. So the case, the earbuds, I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now, at some point you are likely to drop. I mean, if you don't have a firm grip on these, they basically just slip right out of your hand. Now, as far as anything else on the case, on the back you can see the USB-C input for charging. Now on the front there is a single indicator light. Now that just lets you kind of gauge how much battery life is on the case. And then when you open up the lid, there is a pairing button sitting right there at the front. Now, obviously once the lid's open, you can see again that these earbuds have a pretty unique design. Now the earbuds do match the case. This is the black version here, but they do have these available in white. Now the earbuds use touch controls, and this again is another one of those things that I don't think companies are figuring out, that just giving everybody all the controls is the way to go. Because out of the box, you really only have the ability to play and pause. You actually have to go in the app and change the double tap function, or at least what I did was change the double tap function to be my track control, and then I changed my triple tap function to be volume control. And I just kind of relied on the smart sensors on these earbuds to be my play and pause. Because if you take the earbuds out, it will pause your music. And then when you put them back in, it just goes back to what you're listening to. And yes, it does take away the ability to just be able to switch into your gaming mode. You can't switch between different EQ options. I think it's very limited with controls, but again, because this works with an app, hopefully they can fix this in a firmware update. But as it is out of the box, you only get one control. You actually have to go into the app to open up at least a couple of other possibilities. Now, for you guys that do like to use your earbuds for phone calls, I think they did a really good job here. It does use dual mics, and I think it picked up my voice pretty nicely. And it also uses environmental noise canceling. So if you're using these in a noisy environment, it does do a pretty decent job of blocking out your surroundings. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. All right, guys. So here is the mic test using the 1More ComfoBuds. I think overall it picks up my voice very well. I do wish that it picked up bass tones a little bit better, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here's the mic test with the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound, because the sound on these, it's just a very powerful overall sound. Now, that does depend on you getting the right seal. And again, it's important to make sure that you're not just sticking them in your ear and thinking that the stem has to face your mouth. You are going to have to move them around a little bit to find that exact fit. But they don't move once they're in your ear and where you want them to be, but do keep that in mind. But once you get that seal, the bass is very prominent in this pair. Again, they're just pushing those large drivers to give you as much bass impact. They're not trying to tighten or clean it up in any way, so it does have that loose, like subwoofer type feel. The mids, they pushed up just a little bit where it doesn't allow the vocalist to get lost in the mix. And it didn't matter which genre I was listening to, male and female vocalists always sounded up front. Now, I will say that the overall tone of these earbuds do have a warmer sound to them. It kind of keeps the treble from having this really bright sound. Now, the treble on this pair is very detailed, but it doesn't get close to being bright or harsh because that warmer tone and that really powerful bass is kind of pulling it down a little bit. But it still feels like it has a really nice balance. It is a dynamic sounding earbud, which kind of meets the standard of most consumer earbuds. So I think most people are going to be completely happy with the sound. Now, because of it having a warmer sound signature and that really prominent bass, the sound stage is not as open as most earbuds, but I didn't have any issue with being able to hear where different things are coming from, and it still left me feeling like I was in a medium to almost large sounding room. So the sound performance on these, I think most people are going to be completely happy with. Again, keep in mind there are those pre-built EQ options that I did notice with switching between them. It does a pretty good job of adjusting to each one. Now, I do still wish that you had the ability to just custom EQ it yourself, and that's just because I like my sound a certain way, and I usually can tune earbuds to get them to sound like I want them to. And then with this pair, just having pre-built ones, you kind of have to find something that's close to what you like. So my overall opinion on this pair is this is a very tiny, portable, powerful pair of earbuds. It does lack Qi wireless charging. They don't give you all of the controls out of the box, so all of that is a little frustrating. But at 59 bucks, to be able to get a fun sound signature like this and to be able to get different EQ options that you can switch between, you're also getting decent battery life and you're getting a gaming mode. So if you like to use your earbuds for TV shows and movies and gaming on your phone, you don't have to worry about lag. And I think all of that's pretty impressive to get in a $59 pair of earbuds. But guys, that's my video on the brand new 1More ComfoBuds 2. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.